What up, guys? Welcome back. So today we're talking about the iPhone 13 Pro in 2024. Is it still worth it? If you're new to the channel, guys, hit that like, drop a sub, and follow me on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram. All the links are below. But let's talk about the iPhone 13 Pro. The 13 Pro and the Pro Max are two, in my opinion, of the best iPhones ever made. I have tons of videos on the 13 Pro Max. This is actually the first one I have on the 13 Pro. At launch, this device was about $1,000. Right now, you can get this in the used market for around $400 to $500, somewhere in between, depending on the condition of the device. Now, this phone right here, should you still get it? If you are looking to upgrade, if you want to try an iPhone, if you're coming from an Android, and the 15 lineup is too much money, should you get it? Now, I would recommend this device and the Pro Max if you want to save some money and pick up an iPhone and try out iOS. I'm already going to tell you right now, spoiler alert, the 13 Pro and the 13 Pro Max, in my opinion, again, like I said earlier, are two of the best iPhones ever made. Now, are the new iPhones better? Sure, some things here, some things there. Not all parts are better on the new phones. 120 hertz refresh rate if you want to go with the Plus, or the 15 regular, still 60 hertz. So depending on what you need, what you like, this might be a better option than some of the cheaper iPhones that were released in September of last year. Now, let's talk about what is great about this phone. What makes this device still worth it? I mentioned price, but we're going to go in and talk about design. So this is a stainless steel device, so it's got some good weight to it. It does feel premium. Again, the Pro and the Pro Max are the best phones each year that Apple does make. We get those matte colors, so fingerprints, of course, not very well, you're not going to really see them. This is the graphite color, some very nice and subtle colors with this lineup. My favorite color of this year was one that they released later on in the year, that green color on this device. So design, when it comes to looking like an iPhone, looking like a new iPhone, this will still give you that, aside from the notch, right? This year is the first year across the board that dynamic island is here, but the stainless steel, the glossy, and you will get some fingerprints on the sides. These sides are a fingerprint magnet, but clean that up. The back is always going to be nice and smooth. The camera bump from the back, this looks like a brand new device. Over the years, Apple has kept pretty much the same design, the squared off design all the way around since the iPhone 12 and up. Even the 11 is very similar looking from the back, but that is more of a rounded device. Now the display on here is 6.1 inch Super Retina XDR OLED, a beautiful display. The first year Apple gave us 120 hertz refresh rate on a device, so it will feel like a new phone when using this because it's very smooth, very fluid, and if you think about it, better than the 15 and the 15 Plus, right? Still at 60 hertz, 120. It's now the notch, of course. Do you like the notch? Do you like dynamic island? I personally hate both of them. I prefer the little hole punch like we get on Android devices, but the notch is still here. But from the back, it's going to look like a very premium and new device. And from the front, it's the same old iPhone experience. You just have a notch on some phones and a dynamic island now on the newer devices. Now, one other thing you have to remember is this does have the Lightning connector, so USB-C moving forward on all iPhones. Now, this is also IP68 water and dust resistance. You can dunk this in water, not that you ever should. I did that back in the day with older iPhones that were supposedly quote unquote water resistant for up to like 3 meters, and instantly I bricked my phone. This, I would never do that. Don't take it swimming, in my opinion. It's just not worth it for one little quick pick underwater to just destroy your device that back then cost $1,000, and even now, again, between $400 and $500, maybe even a little more, in excellent condition. Now, one thing you will notice about this device on the display, the bezels. The bezels are a little bigger, still look good. The bezels are a little bigger on this device compared to what we have on the 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max. So it's not that big of a deal. In my opinion, this still is a beautiful phone. It's plenty bright, so using this in daylight is not going to be an issue. The battery life on here is fantastic. This, at the time of release, was the best battery on any iPhone up to date, right? The 13 Pro, the Pro Max had the best battery back then. The Pro was right behind that. I think the milliamp on here is 3095. almost 3,100 milliamps, much bigger today in the phones that we have now as far as battery goes, but still excellent battery life on this device. Right now, the battery capacity on here, the health is right around 86%, and it still gets me through a day. Now, if you want better battery life, go for the newer devices, but even this will still last a day, even with the health around 86%. I think it's 84. Let's take a look real quick and see what the battery health is. Battery, and then we go into battery health and charging. You can see it's at 87% right now. Now you can, if you want to make the battery even better, go ahead and change out the battery on this device. It'll probably cost you about $100 at this point. But again, even at 87%, it gets me through the day. Now, gaming on here is not an issue. You can game on this device as much as you want, especially if you're a light gamer like I am, Asphalt Racing or Call of Duty, something along that. No issues at all. The speakers on here are also fantastic. Watching content on this device is fantastic. It's just a great device. Again, one of the best iPhones ever made, in my opinion. Now, being a few years old, how's the performance, right? The performance on here, the A15 Bionic is a beast, still a beast. You're going to get software and security updates on this device for years to come. I believe they said, Apple said, that up until 2026, you're going to get some updates for this and beyond. Usually they go beyond, right? And 2026 is still 2 years away. And we probably will get 1 or 2 more years, especially because this phone is still widely used and a very popular iPhone still right now in 2024. But performance on here, the A15 Bionic, 6 gigs of RAM. That is one difference with the newer phones. We get 8 gigs on the new phones. But pair that with 120 hertz, this thing is a beast. It will fly through everything. The performance will basically be just like it is on the new phones today. And remember, the new phones today are not going to be any different when using this phone on a day in and day out basis. The newer phones this year will get some AI features that all of the older phones don't have. But using this device compared to the new ones, for the most part, besides Dynamic Island and just the look of the device, this will be the same experience. It's an iPhone. Now the cameras on this device, all of them are 12 megapixel cameras. The 3 on the back, we get the wide, the ultra wide, and the telephoto. And then the front facing camera is also a 12 megapixel camera. Give you a little example of the video quality on the front here and some pictures. Check it out. Good morning, guys. I'm headed to work. This is the front facing camera on the iPhone 13 Pro. Give you an example of what it looks like in the morning when I'm still tired. It's a little... it's okay out. About 74 degrees in the morning right now here. But this will give you an idea of what the video quality on the front-facing camera looks like on the iPhone 13 Pro. Peace. Again, will the new phones have better quality when it comes to photos? Yes, we get the new 48 megapixel cameras on the new devices, even in the Plus and the regular. So a little crispier of a photo. It does better in low light on the new devices. So it is a better camera on the newer devices, as you would expect. But this camera, when it was released, was one of the best on any phone in the world. And it still is a very good and capable camera, and it will be for a long time. Great portrait mode on here. Video 4K 60. Just overall, still a great device. And I can easily recommend this device. If you want to save some money, if you're not looking to break the bank, and if you like the size of this 6.1 inch display, or even the Pro Max, the 13 Pro Max, a bigger phone, a bigger device, better battery, either one is a great choice right now in 2024. If you want to save a buck, if you are just looking to get into an iPhone and try it out, you're not going to really find a better iPhone to try than the 13 Pro or the Pro Max. But that's it, guys. Hit that like, drop a sub. I'll be back soon. Peace.